Now at 11, speaking out against impaired driving as a community. People in Vancouver walking like mad as victims and survivors share their stories.
One drink is not worth you ruining the rest of your life, getting convicted and going to prison.
Plus, a hectic scene on a Washington road after a truck carrying millions of honeybees overturns yesterday.
Bees don't want to sting us or attack. That's only if they feel in danger.
And it's one of the nation's oldest parks, and it grew up right alongside the Rose City. The celebration today at Oaks Park. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Within the last hour, one of the major events of Portland's Rose Festival wrapped up. The streets of downtown Portland were taken over by the Starlight Parade. The event typically brings about 100,000 people out to enjoy the sights and sounds of colorful lit up floats, marching bands, and so many of the different groups that make up our community. Before the parade, people were given a warm-up act with the Starlight Run. People got their costumes on for a nearly 3-mile route that started and ended at the City Fair on the waterfront.
There's a huge variety of people out here tonight. We're just excited to be part of it. What I love is that you get to run the parade route, so you sort of get to, prep the crowd, pump them up, get them ready. That's why you got to bring your costume.
A lot of fun costumes out there. Well, this year's parade saw more than 100 illuminated entries, with awards being given out to the best floats and performers. And this year, the Rose Festival had a different strategy for ensuring parade safety. Instead of dump trucks blocking roads, these barriers were installed along the route with around 100 volunteers monitoring them. The Rose Fest is seeking barricade guides for the next big parades on June 4th and June 7th. Details are available on rosefestival.org. Well, it turned into a beautiful evening for festivities tonight as we say goodbye to May and transition into June. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri joining us tonight. So how's the first day of June looking like for us, Joe?
Absolutely perfect is probably the best way to describe the start of June, and it's going to carry on to at least the first week of June as well. Tomorrow morning, there will be some areas of clouds, and throughout the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley, those clouds will be kind of sticking around for the maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock hour tomorrow morning. By midday, we'll be sitting at 62 degrees with a daytime high tomorrow of 76, and you'll notice the sunset tomorrow inching closer to 9 o'clock. That's not going to happen for a little bit, but still, we're starting to see those longer days roll through. As we bring in the futurecast, here's a look where those clouds will be. Downtown Portland, I think, will be mainly clear, but the east side of Multnomah County, you'll start to see some clouds develop. By 9:30, 10, parts of Salem sees a little bit of cloud cover, but by the lunch hour, you're looking at a lot of sunshine, and this ridge of high pressure is going to be moving through. This is that cold front that brought in those low clouds and a little bit of some sprinkles, some spritz here and there earlier this morning. We didn't see measurable amount of rain, and we're not going to be seeing any measurable amount of rain over the next several days. Temperature-wise right now are in the right around the low to mid-50s, so kind of a pleasant night ahead. And coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll talk more about the nice stretch of weather we're about to have and just how warm things get heading into the first week of June. John, back to you.
All right, Joe, we'll see you then. Northeast 181st Avenue in Gresham is back open after a deadly crash involving a pedestrian. It happened just after 5:30 this evening near the intersection with Northeast Pacific Court. Gresham police say the pedestrian was walking on the sidewalk when they were hit. The driver of the car stayed on scene and spoke with investigators. A tragic update in the search for a teen who went missing from Oak Grove. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office says 17-year-old Charlotte Fosgate was found dead earlier this month. It was Multnomah County deputies who recovered her body from the Willamette on May 10th. She was later identified by the medical examiner's office. The sheriff's office reports no signs of foul play. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office did say there were concerns for Charlotte's mental health when she went missing. If you or someone you know is going through a mental health crisis, there is help available 24/7. Just call the number on your screen, 988. Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies continue to investigate a shooting near the Troutdale Airport. It happened in a wooded area off of Northwest Graham Road and Swigert Way just after 11 last night. Deputies arrived to find 2 people seriously hurt from gunshot wounds. They were taken to the hospital. Their condition is not known at this time. Police say there is no risk to the public, but they ask anyone with more information to call their tip line. That number is 503-988-0560. Portland police and firefighters responded to a fiery crash early this morning. This was the scene around 3 a.m. near Northeast Lombard and Northeast 42nd Avenue. Officials say the crash involved a car and an RV and caused a fire that spread to a nearby hillside and a power pole. The car's driver and the RV's owner both escaped without injury. Well, this weekend, people came out to move with MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving, to end impaired driving, to put a spotlight on the tragic deaths caused by it. Our Celine Stevens was there and spoke to victims' family members to learn more.
Many people came out Saturday to Vancouver's inaugural Bike and Walk Like Mad event, all in an effort to create a future with no more victims due to drunk driving.
The last hug I gave my sister was in a body bag.
Justine Baker was one person out of the lineup of speakers at the Move with Mad event that took place at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park. She shared the tragic story of her sister, Danielle Abrams, who died in 2023 after being killed by a drunk driver.
She had a beautiful life and had just gotten married in November on the 13th of 2022 when fast forward to August 2023, on the 3rd, a drunk driver drove through her house and killed her while she was sitting on the couch holding her dog.
Baker says she passed away within minutes after impact due to suffocation.
She never stood a chance against the car that came through her living room. She was in the place that she felt the safest.
Stories like this, unfortunately, aren't rare.
My son AJ was 17 years old, just full of life, and was one of my biggest blessings.
Her son was killed in 2021.
He tragically lost his life to one of his friends drinking and driving. And the truck rolled into the reservoir there, and my son actually ended up drowning.
And that led her to this walk.
I came here today to walk like mad. I'm a mad mom. You don't think it's going to happen to you, and as we saw today, it could happen to you sitting in your living room.
The funds raised from events like this go back to Mothers Against Drunk Driving programs to help victims and their families.
Unfortunately, we are still seeing casualties on the roads. We are still seeing people, fatalities, people getting injured, and especially here in this area.
Earlier this week on Monday, 18-year-old Michael O'Brien died because of a wrong-way crash in Camas due to a drunk driver.
Our primary objective is to remove impaired drivers from the roadway every night, and each one of us arrests over 100 to 200 of them a year.
Even though this is the first event for MAD in Vancouver, the goal is for this walk and bike ride to become an annual event.
Almost there! We do need to lower our BAC level here in Washington, and that's something that MAD is strongly supporting and fighting to bring that down to 0.05. That needs to happen. And then also just the education, really educating our youth.
In Vancouver, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
A Washington road is back open today after a truck carrying tens of thousands of pounds of beehives overturned. It happened around 4 Friday morning in Whatcom County. The sheriff's office estimates the crash released about 14 million honeybees. Expert beekeepers called to clean up say about 20% of the bees likely died from the impact. As for what comes next,
They're going to swarm in the nearby farm fields, the local forest, the trees, and they'll either, depending if the queen bees survived, start their colony out there in nature and become wild bees, or a percentage will join local native colonies as well.
keepers will be on site monitoring the bees' behavior for the next several days. Well, it's one of the oldest still running amusement parks, and it's right here in Portland. Yesterday, Oaks Park celebrated 120 years of providing family fun. The park held its birthday celebration today, offering an admission special that resulted in a sold-out day there at the park. It also marked the occasion with cosplayers and a barbershop quartet meant to harken back to the 1920s. The marketing and events director told us the park's age is part of what makes it unique.
Portland grew up around this park, and every aspect of it has been impacted by the people who have lived here over generations. So when you come here, you are experiencing kind of a full range of Portland history in this little microcosm. And you know, Portland loves local, and there's nowhere more local than Oaks Park.
The park is open through October.